Podcast alert. Podcast alert.
Podcast danger. Podcast alert. Grave announcement. But not in a bad way grave, like a spooky grave.
Like a cool like a cool grave like the kind that Gravedigger makes.
Yeah.
You guys flip so easily into like skip mode after we're fucked. Everything is very bad. Hi, welcome to a surprise Patreon announcement. Things got changed on us and we need some help, so please listen to us.
Imagine if it just ended there. Hey, regular listeners. I'm one of your co-hosts, Chad.
I'm Paul.
I'm Kevin.
And Patreon has been a great way for us to support our show on Goosebuds. We've been doing it for 7 or 8 years out of our 10-year run. And we've always been doing this per episode system where you basically get charged for every episode we put out, which has always been 2 episodes a month, and then you would get that free bonus Camp Goosebuds episode. Patreon is changing and making all creators go to a per month subscription system, not a per creation. So we're adjusting and changing our tiers to reflect that.
Yeah, so if you're a Patreon supporter, everything is monthly now. But because of how Patreon changed this on us, we need a little help from you. If you were previously a Ghoulie, giving us $2 per podcast episode, you're going to have to update to the new Ghoulie to give us the same amount. I know it's confusing.
And likewise for our Camp Goosebuds camper tier, that was $5 per episode. You would have been paying $10 a month total. We're just now changing that to a $10 a month tier, giving you all the same access to all the bonuses you would have normally gotten. It's just now charged as one subfeed.
Yeah, which is, I believe, how it already worked. So really, nothing is changing in that regard because we will be producing the same number of episodes, and we will be charging the same amount. We won't be. Patreon will be charging the same amount at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, whenever the charge goes through. And you will get the same things. You'll get Camp Goosebuds. You'll be in the Book of Names. Ghoulies will still get access to the Discord as well as our campers, and you will also be able to vote on adventure books and other such polls that we put up. And then we do want to clarify one other thing that has changed in this, and I believe this is in relation to why Patreon changed their or took away this feature that we were using, which was the per creation. They have set it up so that you can use Apple Pay to pay for Patreon. And if you probably have heard through other creators that use Patreon, if you pay attention to that type of stuff. If you don't, it's important to note, if you use Apple Pay, you should probably stop. In fact, you should 100% stop, because the way Apple Pay works is Apple takes a 30% cut right off the top, and all of that money goes to Apple's pocket, and then 70% goes to the creator. Whereas for Patreon, they take a small fee, and there's a small bank fee, but it is significantly lower
minuscule
than that.
Compared to what Tim Apple is doing, that greedy robot.
Indeed. Yeah. So do not do that, because all you're doing then is giving less support to the creator and giving more support to Apple Corp.
Yeah, so if you're subbing to us, get yourself to a desktop computer, not an iPhone.
Or I guess maybe an Android device or a...
You can use your iPhone to pay, you just don't use Apple Pay. Use a credit card or PayPal.
And so again, these are the new tiers, and this is per month. This is the only thing you're charged based on the tiers you're going, and it'll be $5 a month. You'll be a Ghoulie. You'll get access to the Discord with our amazing community that's been going strong. You get early access to episodes before they go on the main RSS feed, and you get to vote on which books we're covering next when we have polls based on help us choose. We need an adventure book. Choose our adventure book. For $10 a month, you'll be a camper, where every month you get a bonus Camp Goosebuds episode. It's where we all hang around the digital campfire and share about things we like reading, and games, and movies, and life, and I love doing the regular episodes. Camp Goosebuds is some of my favorite stuff that we put out. You'll also be forever immortalized in the Book of Names at the end of every episode. And you'll get all other perks at the lower tier. So again, remember, if you were a camper, you will now need to go and adjust to the new tier to keep getting Camp Goosebuds, keep getting the Book of Names, and all of those bonuses.
Thank you for working with us. We are not actually asking you for more money. We're asking for the same amount of money and for you to just help us with this new system. Thank you for bearing with us.
We would have done We would have done this in a smoother, more controlled manner, but we got confused. Sorry.
Computers are haunted.
Yeah, if the computer is haunted, there's a ghost in the machine. You might have already noticed in your October payments that you probably paid less than normal. That's because because Patreon did this change. Damn you, Patreon. Thank you for allowing us to have this platform, but damn you, Patreon. Overall, can I just say too, like, if you've already been a sub, or maybe you're hearing this on the main feed and you've always thought about doing it, this is a great time to jump back in. The reason why this show has been going on for over a decade is because of your love and support, and like Goosebuds lives on and continues because of you. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for being a patron. A sub is someone who is submissive.
Oh yeah, thank you for being a sub.
No, not that. No, thank you for being a patron.
No, thank you for being a sub. And we also used to have a host named Dom.
Thank you for being a dominant patron.
Again, that's patreon.com/goosebuds. Thank you all again. Now put this ball gag in your mouth.
If you like the sub, it's cool. The world needs subs too.
The world needs subs too. You gotta have both. You need balance.
Just so you guys know, I Googled California Raisins War, and there are no results, which means it is being psyoped out of our brains, the California Raisin War, in which all 4 California raisins were killed.
This is what you reminded me, and I had forgotten. I can't believe after all the memorials and the musicals and everything about it that said never forget.
We promised we would never forget.
How quickly we forget the great California Raisins War.
No, now were they at war with someone else?
Yeah,
I'm not a scholar on this.
The Raisins actually took them out.
I heard the Raisins, but I remember this because I'd always heard the conspiracy theory that the Raisins were supported by the Keebler elves.
They were.
Like, they were funded, yeah.
Well, that's like they're like the Koch brothers of that war. They like were silently in the background doing it. But the thing that was truly the thing that turned the tables in the war was the Raisins combined forces with California almonds. And it used up all of the water that the California raisins needed to survive. They fully shriveled.
Which is why we live in the desert that we have today in California.
Exactly.
You don't expect a raisin to shrivel further, but actually it's a delicate balance, you know?
They're just holding on. There's just enough moisture in there.
They're men, you know?
They're just innocent men. Yeah.
They're just innocent men.
I could not believe the California raisins. I'm also reading Wikipedia, the knowledge base of all information now. I didn't realize the last appearance of the California Raisins 2002. So that means they died in the Kuwait War. I guess one of them survived and probably made it on TV, right? Like, welcome in our veteran buddy.
The one who made it. The one who survived. He's a prune now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a prune. He's got that... I was going to reference the hat that all Vietnam vets always wear. There's like that kind of like... it's like a paper hat. You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about like the pointed cap thing?
It's like a beret, but it's not a beret. And just once you're a veteran, you get that hat.
That's a veteran's head tent, I believe they call those.
Ah, okay, yeah. So that if they needed to, they could survive under there. They could stretch it out.
Yeah. That's all the. I mean, look, we should support our veterans, but we can only afford that size tent for each one of them. So we gave them what we had.
You get this little hat. We got to prepare for the next war, veteran.
I can't believe that this episode's coming out on Pearl Harbor Day.
My dad's a Vietnam veteran, but like he just never brags about it or anything because he was lucky enough to have a desk job. It's both like an honorable thing, but also he's like, I didn't see any of the shit.
Did he had a desk job in Vietnam?
I think it's still on this in America.
He was in America. Okay.
I think so. I should double check with him. Yeah, I thought it was America. It's just like he never. Maybe he lied to me. Actually, now that I think this out loud, he's been so uncommittal about all the details. Maybe he was like a secret assassin for Vietnam.
He could have been. Maybe he was assassinating Nazis still. The ones that were still sticking around. He was down in South America.
He was hunting them down in Brazil.
He was hunting down Nazis in Vietnam.
Well, I assumed he would go off to other countries. Vietnam was all a cover, but maybe there was one Nazi who fled to Vietnam. Was like, "Fuck, what's going on here now? God damn it!
Damn it! I walked right into it.
I picked the wrong country to flee to. God damn it!
Finally, I am safe from American interests. Now that
God damn it!
Surely the French and the Americans will never get into it.
I'm reading about the actual history of the California Raisins. Oh, sorry, I broke kayfabe. Let me edit that out.
No, they're dead. I mean, they are history, so yeah.
They are dead. Yeah. I was just trying to could you guys recall any of the names of any of the California
No.
Raisins? Or I
know all of them off the top of my head.
Let's hear it, Kevin.
No, you don't. Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Then Chad will confirm this.
Yes, of course.
All
Yes.
right. The one with the saxophone is Lenny.
Yes.
The one with the marimba is Kurt.
What?
Yeah, that's what it says here, Kurt.
The one with the smoky eyes who sees beyond your soul is Mr. Chet.
Oh, yeah, no, I see that one down here. Yeah, you're right. That's right.
And the one who is inside out and plays the harmonica, but just one note, is Peter T. Sunglasses.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I got to dig you a point. It was Peter J. Sunglasses.
Oh, so close.
I'm a fake fan.
In 2015, it was announced that a live-action CGI reboot of the California Raisins would be produced with president of the Actors Hall of Fame Foundation, Rusty Citron, as one of the people behind the project.
Rusty Citron?
Rusty Citron, that's his real name. That's not even a fake name.
That's
so Mr. Lemon is producing the Raisin movie?
Yeah, Rusty Citrus? Is that what we're saying? He's oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Fruits,
put them out in the sun. Pretty good. Welcome to Goosebuds.
Hello.
Welcome to Goosebuds.
Hello, I'm one of your hosts, Chad.
Hello, I'm one of your hosts, Kevin.
Hello, I am the final host, Paul.
The final host that will kill the other two hosts, Paul.
Listen, we had a lot of fun with this intro, but war is no place for a saxophone, so leave it at home.
I mean, that was the problem when the Craze and Raisin War began. They were behind the eight ball. They only had instruments. They tried to use art to win, but that's always a difficult prospect.
Let that be a lesson to you, artists.
Can we talk one more thing about the California Raisin War? Because I
love the fake start.
I love the California Raisins. I appreciate their sacrifice for our service. Can we talk about fucking what was his name? Flanders, the fifth raisin that dodged the draft.
Flanders was fucked up, man. That boy.
Yeah, he claimed he had bone spurs and shit. And you're like, we all knew. And then, but everyone's like, oh, he's so handsome. Let him live and stay here in America. And he did that solo bullshit. Fuck Flanders, man. Now
he's just a talking head on a Fox News local affiliate.
Oh my god, yeah, what a piece of shit. Didn't die like he should with his. I don't know.
Didn't die like he should have.
You know what my least favorite thing about eating raisins is sometimes you get one with bone spurs.
You're like, ow! And
what the hell?
Oh, they should have caught that in the machine process, yeah.
Oh man, and then Flanders ran for president, and then they called him out on his swift boat. His swift boat escape that he used when he draft dodged up to Prince Edward Island. Remember that? On the swift boat.
What a fucking asshole! God. Ugh.
Welcome to Goosebuds, the podcast where we give California Raisins the hard-hitting critique they deserve.
Shining a light on the things they don't want you to know about the California Raisins.
Mm-hmm. And also sometimes we talk about YA books. It used to be about the 90s. Sometimes we go back to the 90s, but now we're in the world of 2009, 2010 Horrorland.
Horrorland, baby.
Here we are at not really the end because there's another book after this.
Is it only one more after this?
I thought I saw there was 7 more
for this arc.
Well, yeah, but where does the story go?
That's
this entire series has had the skeleton of this Horrorland story.
Exactly. That's what I want to know. I because we're gonna if we're closing it up, what the heck could the other ones be about?
You guys want to know anything about this world after this book?
Great point.
I just don't know. I don't know what this franchise will do now that it doesn't have this, master framework to support it.
Indeed.
We're reading Escape from Horrorland.
Yes, Escape from Horrorland. And should you not have listened, should this be maybe your first episode and maybe your first foray back into Goosebumps books, in the 2000s, RL started a new series of Goosebumps books called Horrorland. There are... I don't know how many there are total, but we are on book number 11 of
Can I say I have not looked ahead of how many there are because I fear the number being too big.
Same.
I think we are more than halfway through, which is a dark prospect.
So, the dark prospect being that we have read all 11 of these, and the conceit of these books is that they are half of one book and then half of another book, both of which the first one maybe sometimes is satisfying. The second of which tends to just be kids treading water in a pool, waiting for the next thing to happen.
The worst version of what Marvel Cinematic Universe has brought to all blockbusters now, the like tease credit scene, kind of, but not really.
Exactly. These are all extended cut teased credit scenes. Is every single one of these books.
I actually think he's definitely influenced by Marvel because he's a comic book nerd.
Mm-hmm. This one is the most comic booky of all his books.
This is Horrorland, the Avengers.
Exactly.
I think he's getting pressure to be more like Harry Potter at this point.
Sure.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing in this is like the too many kids, the trials, like the whole maze thing. Like that's just fucking Harry Potter. Like
yeah.
How everything is a puzzle that needs to be like fucking figured out. Like that is legit Harry Potter.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, as also we're using Marvel as a reference. I think it's at this point still like Iron Man had come out. The MCU of everything hadn't taken over yet.
Yeah,
right. It is easy to say that to show it as an MCU type comparison, but it's certainly, Kevin. I think you're made an astute observation there, saying Harry Potter. But I do think this one really does feel like it's a comic book, and we talked about this a little bit while we were reading the books and after when we had our vague messages we like to send each other. Sometimes vague, threatening messages.
Ominous messages of our emotions.
We love sending vague, ominous, threatening, emotional messages to each other.
Barbaric yops of our soul. Mm-hmm. I wrote a lot down. I wrote a lot of those down into my notes. So we're gonna kind of watch past Kevin go through it in real time.
Yes, me too. I just kept sending you guys "time to kill" over and over again.
Yeah, and you just kept putting down saxophone emoji and grapes, and I was like, what's going on there?
This one is, I think, I'm going to go off the top and say, this is the best one of the Horrorland books. And that is not saying that it is a particularly good book, but I think it finally shows some promise. And I think he could have done all of this stuff. He could have just written full books. He could have just written full books and then done this book as it's done, and probably done it better by just introducing each kid in each part. We'll get there. We'll get through it. But
that's an interesting point. You're right, because we are establishing, and I think it's worth calling out by the way we said this is Escape from Horrorland, not the DreamWorks PC game that kicked ass.
Yeah, which does
also starred like Lizzy and Clay and
which does show up when you search for this book. It is it is easily the most popular name of this name. It is easily the most popular property.
I wish we gotta play that in cover at some point.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's prime Goosebumps media.
For sure,
it's so good.
I want to lay out my thesis for this book.
Let's hear it.
And although there are bright spots, this book is just walking through goop. And there are bright spots. There are parts I legitimately enjoy.
It's walking through literal goop. Will you not call it quicksand, Kevin? Is that why
you're
I mean, that was mud, guys. That was mud. It was cold mud.
Quicksand erasure.
And quicksand can exist in media. I'm not saying you can't have quicksand in a book. Like, obviously, you can have quicksand. It's just...
like it exists in real life.
No, like, not like that. But it did kill the California race.
Yeah, one of them definitely went. Yeah.
Just seeing their little gloved hands waving up out of the quicksand.
Oh, well, yeah, they grabbed his friend's hand to try to pull him out, and it just like, not the glove came off, the entire hand just popped off. There's like a little black stick under there. Yeah.
Famously, they were using the saxophone to breathe through, and then a final air bubble of sand appeared at the top and popped, and then it sank in.
It went boop.
Played one bad note.
So I think this book is the consequence of too much writing and not enough reading. And you could say that about a lot of Goosebumps books, but I think this one especially is just, this is the consequence of him being like, yeah, I'll just do it this way. He didn't do like research on how to like lay this out or anything, or like what to do with characters to make them unique, or like how to get them all together, or make them matter, or make them fun or charming. Like he just went. He just goes. And like I feel like we celebrate that a lot in artists. That like they're just going for it, you know?
Go fast, break things, right? As all good artists say.
Yeah, this is move fast, break things. This is like a tech bro mindset of writing, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We always talk about how, like, well, he definitely did stream of consciousness. He at least, there's no way, if he even wrote all of these books, that there was any level of, like, planning ahead. I think explicitly mentioned, who knows, maybe Panic Park will change my mind. The story in this book is you could feel RL, the author, just shifting road tracks frantically. Why were the twins suddenly evil?
Yeah, that's
okay. So I missed a book too, and then we should clarify that. So,
was that the book you missed?
Jackson and
Jillian. You didn't read the ones with the literal superheroes in it.
No, but I picked.
Help me have strange powers.
Through
episode, please.
Through context clues, I think I figured it out, guys.
Yeah, through the subtle showing. I'm sorry, through the direct telling of this.
I think it was really funny, and to prove your point, Chad, I think it's really funny that he has spent 10 books up till now. Building up children and their traits, right? Like
the R.L. Stine Foundation, building up
children one at a time and putting them into Horrorland, only to get to the culminating book, right? The peak of the story, and to bring back the two kids from the original Horrorland. They have not been in any of these books previously. They show up, and then they end up interacting with the other kids, and for the most part, the only kids that matter are Jackson and Jillian to a certain extent.
Because they're Akiras.
Because they're the Akiras. He only uses the kids who weren't in any of the other books and the last two kids because he probably already forgot what all of the other kids did.
No, I became fascinated with this, like, oh, do you remember what this character was? Whoever is the comic book kid, only thing he ever said was, this is like something from a comic book.
Exactly.
I've read comic books, but I even find this hard to believe. Do you think it could be from a comic book?
Do you guys want to play a quick game show of which kid is that?
Sure.
Yes, please. That sounds fantastic.
All right, because you mentioned the comic book.
Are we doing a game show? Are we trying to beat each other, like buzz in?
Okay, so it's me versus Chad?
It's you versus Chad.
Okay,
I've got my notes in front of me.
All right.
Okay, you got to say your name when you're buzzing in.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This child is associated with the haunted mask.
Paul,
you've got it.
Carly Beth.
That is correct.
God damn it. Oh, I've doubted myself. Fuck.
It's weird screaming my name in an instance where a name makes sense to be the answer.
Yeah.
That's a weird. Chad, I appreciate it, but it's a weird system.
This child is Carly Beth's best friend.
Paul.
Chad.
Chad.
Daisy May.
Good guess. It's Paul. Do you have the steal?
Julie.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect. Sabrina is Carly Beth's friend.
Yeah.
Sabrina.
You get it, guys. There are too many characters.
No, keep this going. I want to keep doing this game.
That was the game over?
Okay. No, it'll come back up. If I remember what Matt Daniels' trait... All right, what is Matt Daniels' trait? That's the next question.
Matt Daniel? Who the fuck is Matt Daniel?
He's the first child listed in after Luke and Lizzie.
Paul.
Paul.
Okay.
Has stomach problems.
Oh, good guess. Chad, do you have
Well, I have a guess, but I don't want to... Okay. Chad. He's the monster kid. He eats the goop and turns into the monster.
Hey, that's correct.
Oh, that was Monster Kid?
I kept thinking that was Michael. Yeah, it's Matt. Okay,
yeah. I had to do that via process of elimination, looking like that's not Robbie Schwartz. That's not Carly Beth.
Don't start giving the questions. We're not done yet, Kevin.
He's actually the... So him... It's funny because you picked the... And probably purposely so. The only... Okay, so I did say that Jackson and Jillian are the only kids that matter in this story. And from a plot standpoint, pretty much, but Matt and Carly Beth and her friend Sabrina do play, I think, some of the best scenes in this. They do play a major portion in that. I think, to my point earlier, we could have started on Lizzy and Luke showing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They arrive, and they could have encountered all of the kids from these stories as special guests. We could have never had their parts before, and we could have just... It almost would have been better it almost would have done what people fucking love now and what people need from media, which is to
be fed their slop directly.
To be Easter egged so they can scream, I know that, and then feel good about themselves. This could have been a book full of those moments of just straight up Easter eggs all the way through, front to back.
I've been listening to a podcast that's covering Ready Player 2, Ernest Cline's
Oh boy.
nostalgia.
Oh boy.
It's called Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater's podcast, and they're just summarizing things kind of like we do, and it is just, hey, look at this here, look at this reference, there's that. Side detour. I guess they go to a Sonic the Hedgehog planet, and I have to process that. That's
oh boy! Oh boy! You could have seen. You could have read that, Chad.
I could have read that. It would. I'm sure it would fill me with rage. But anyway, the fact that that's all just like nostalgic. Oh, here's this reference. Here's this beat.
Yep.
RL's beating him. RL's doing a better job than Ernest Cline, and that's something.
That is something. That sure is something.
That's the only point I had.
Hate to give a compliment, but that's something.
Yeah. Can we do more trivia game? Actually, I'm really competitive about it. I want to win.
Okay. Name. Who are the two kids that went missing in the mirror dimension?
Oh fuck.
Paul. Tig and Boxcar
Tig and Nataro
and Boxcar James.
Point. Those are incorrect. We'll give you a point for Boxcar James.
Thank you.
What?
Yep. Sorry, Chad gets a point. Chad, do you have the steal?
Wait, do I get points if I just say fun names? Because Boxcar James got one.
I mean, yeah, you get points if you say something funny like Boxcar James.
Damn, now the pressure's really on me.
Or if you're correct, but...
I know, yeah, what are their stupid names? All I remember is they're screaming all the time on the roller coaster. That's all they're ever doing. Chad.
Yes, Chad.
Diana and Prince.
Very, I can kind of
It's like a D
Diana.
word on one of them.
Prince is a weird name for a girl, though. It's Molly and Brittany.
Damn it.
Molly and Brittany are the two missing children.
Brittany.
Here's another pair. These two kids have trouble with pirates.
Chad.
Oh, Chad.
Damn it.
Billy and Sheena Deep.
That's correct. Chad gets a point.
He's got
Thank
it.
you.
This is the name of the pirate captain that assaults Billy and Sheena Deep.
Chad.
One
Leg Ben.
He's crushing it.
Ooh, Ben is correct. Can anyone get the actual...
Paul.
It's not one
Paul.
leg Ben. Paul.
Peg Leg Ben.
That's incorrect.
Damn it.
Damn. Oh, I wish he had a more iconic, interesting name.
Long Ben, one leg.
Oh, that's stupid.
It really it rolls off the tongue.
Long Ben. Can we did anyone else take notes on the shanty you hear from the pirate ship?
Oh God, that was so late in the book, my eyes just skipped over.
Did you guys used to do that? And when I would read books and there would be songs, I'd be like, I'm not going to read that, and I would just skip past it.
Shamefully, shamefully in my teenage years when I was reading through Lord of the Rings, I just skipped those songs.
Yeah, I don't need to read those. Who needs it?
I got it. There's a beautiful poem going on, and then I was like, but where's the character's mindset at?
Yeah, but now the Song of Baron and Luthien, whatever. There are songs in Lord of the Rings that make me sad.
Oh, did I not screenshot the? Oh, damn it. Anyway, one of the lines from the pirate. I'm gonna find it because it's so funny because it's a cum joke.
Oh well, let's go over. Do you want to start working our way through the story?
Yeah,
and we can walk our way through the story
because we can talk about
other kids to throw out. Kevin, throw us a quick question.
Well, just a quick plug before we start. If you want to hear me do Quizmaster stuff, I guested on the Story Lords podcast where I was their Quizmaster for their second season ender.
Oh, that's great!
And I had so much fun that I wanted to bring more Quizmaster energy into this.
Hell yeah!
I felt challenged. I think currently, Kevin, do you have the point lead? I just want to know what the count is.
I believe we are tied up.
Wait! I just want to say I surrender.
Whoa!
What? Oh my God! My competitive desire is defeated.
Paul surges ahead 2 points for surrender.
No,
that's gonna put him in the lead.
Oh no, it's reignited. God damn it!
I wanted Chad to win. I wanted to give him that.
Wow, another point for selflessness on Paul. He's just kind of killing it, right?
Oh, God damn it.
Just shrinkling inside.
I just want to comment on the cover of this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Were the horrors always buff orcs?
Oh, well, this is Byron, I assume.
I was always picturing Byron as the Philly fanatic.
Yeah, he had like... Yeah, I didn't expect him to be. I don't know. He just seems like he's got like the sex V going on. The C.
What are you talking about?
Wait, the up top sex V or the down below?
The down below, the sea gutters, as they call them.
Yeah, thank you for saying C. We did not rate this episode for cum top.
No, there's no CT. We can't put a visual CT up, so I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He's got those, and I just was, I was expecting them to be a little more like, I don't know, like if he can be strong, but I was expecting more like, strongman competition physique.
I would trust this guy if I was a kid. If this
I
is
don't
Byron.
distrust him. I just wasn't, like you said, like I'm expecting more of like a, I don't know, like a fanatic.
Philly fanatic.
I was expecting a Philly fanatic. I mean, this guy is a little vavavoom, below the
exactly
below the no neck. The blue glowing eyes makes me want to trust him too.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks like a friendly, like a Jack Black vibe, but like not now Jack Black, like 2012 Jack Black.
They cut him off just in time though, because he's packing down there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those pinstripe or checkered pants, whatever they might be, they're not leaving anything up to the imagination.
Yeah, they're slimming, but not for the dick.
Can I say what's really great is if you look online, cover artist for this, because we should reach out to Brandon Dorman, to figure out if there's a more of the illustration. Can you basically email him? Like, can you scroll down and tell if there's more to that horror?
Yeah,
Brandon Dorman crotch reveal, please.
Yeah, maybe there's a back view as well. Maybe a turnaround, maybe like a pinup or a body pillow.
Can I see a nude Tane?
Nude Tane.
But if you click on Brandon Dorman's wiki bio, his picture is him doing the exact same pose as the horror.
No way.
No way.
I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it right
now. Post that.
I know I'm banned from clicking, but I'm clicking it. Oh my god, he is. He truly is.
I already clicked this episode. There I go again. So
he truly is.
There I go again, clicking.
The clicking is in shambles this episode. Sorry, future Kevin.
Sorry, future Kevin.
Yeah, it's as if he used his own pic, as if that were the reference picture for Byron itself.
Yeah, which comic artists do a lot, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course.
DM me if you look like this cover of Escape from Horrorland. Okay.
So
Luke?
Byron, this story is frustrating because it feels like they don't know the answer to this story. Does that feel like that to you guys as
Absolutely.
well?
The story is frustrating because it's nonstop travel with nothing to do when you get anywhere.
That's a great point, because you would think consistent forward momentum would equate to, interesting things to happen. And for the most part, I do think that the little moments that they have, I think are actually, like, there's some good imagery that happens, but I don't think almost any of the solutions are actually satisfying to any of the problems that come up.
No. And to your original point, Paul, the introduction of, it's like Lizzy and Cal? I'm awful names.
Luke and Lizzy?
Luke and Lizzy.
Luke and Lizzy, thank you.
Here's
and Clay is their friend, right?
No, what? Clay?
Oh, that's from the video game. Sorry. I was just thinking of the...
Let me run through the kids.
I have them in my head. Yeah, please.
All right. So we get just a scant 8 names to memorize at the beginning of this. Luke and Lizzy Morris are Lizzy's our perspective character. Lizzy is the one that we're saddled with. And funnily enough, she's kind of an unreliable narrator because we have a literal mind reader in the form of Jill Gerard, who can read minds. Jack has telekinetic abilities. Jill has telepathic abilities.
Okay.
So
can Jill actually read minds? Because
yes.
She can. Okay, I was through context clues because again I missed the last book. Through context clues was assuming that her power was a fake out and her brother was true power.
No, that's what's so bizarre, Paul, is that in that book we are following the protagonist's story of these two twins who we have strange powers, go through an entire psychiatric thing and develop their powers, and they're chased by Dr. Cranium, who's referenced at the end of this book. But they're not liars, they're not evil kids or anything. They just seem to be like, oh, well, we discovered these powers, cool, and now we're in this adventure like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth and lies of their mind reading in the previous book, Kevin, tell me if you remember otherwise, is that their mind reading was accurate. They'd be able to tell when someone was lying,
unless the other person was also psychic and could block them out. Yes.
Oh, you're right. Yes, thank you.
Oh, so that could mean that the horrors are psychic.
Could be.
But it's bizarre that when they read, so now we're in Luke and Lizzie's perspective. I guess Lizzie, in my mind, is the main protagonist.
Yeah. Lizzie's the main character. I haven't gone through the names yet. Do you want me to go through the names?
Yeah, Luke, I was just going to answer the rest of that line. Yeah, please.
There are 8 of them, and I only got halfway through.
Sorry, please.
Matt Daniels is from Monster.
Big monster boy. Big monster
eggs
boy.
And turn into the Hulk.
Yeah. Carly Beth is Mask One, Haunted Mask.
I put on a haunted mask and I rage out.
Also from our
She's
book
Mystique.
We have Carly Beth's parents are in our.
We have Hulk, Mystique, Mystique's friend.
Yeah,
these are all versions of Berserker heroes. It seems like
Robbie Schwartz, Scarlet Witch, kind of
comic book, right?
Yeah, Robbie Schwartz's comic book. He made Dr. Maniac and Purple Rage.
I guess because he changed reality with his comics. Sure, yeah.
Deadpool.
Julie Martin is the camera. Say Cheese and Die one. Yeah.
Yeah, but her power. Yeah, and again, it's just I had a camera once.
Yes,
I like to take pictures.
She gets her one camera scene, but Julie is the Say Cheese and Die. Missing, crucially, we're on the search for Michael, Abby, Sabrina, and Boone, who have disappeared.
Were they all side character friends? Is that what kept them all together?
Sabrina was a side character friend. Michael was my friends call me Monster is Matt.
That's Matt. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I was getting confused. Yeah.
I forget what Michael's from. I forget what Abby and Boone from, but Sabrina is Carly Beth's friend. And Molly and Brittany are also missing. And they're from Slappy, right? They're from.
Oh my god! I completely forgot there was a Slappy book. Yeah.
So couple characters, and we get sort of the hanging intrigue in this first chapter, which is, so we know that Jill has accurate mind reading capabilities, and Jill says that Luke and Lizzie are lying to the rest of the group, that they don't have their best interests in mind, because Luke and Lizzie want to get everybody to leave Panic Park.
They want to get everybody to leave Horrorland.
Horrorland.
But we are in, this plot is a cul-de-sac where we need to leave Horrorland. But also, we need to go to Panic Park. Oh no, we shouldn't leave Panic Park. We should get back to Horrorland, the place we were escaping.
Cul-de-sac doesn't. This is a never-ending parking garage.
No, I remember now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is a parking garage, and once you go down the downstairs, it loops you back up Escher-wise up to the upstairs.
Yeah. Like, and we're all just wandered around this parking garage, tired and needing to pee.
Lizzie and Luke do want the kids they want them to leave Horrorland, but they also do not want them to go to Panic Park. They have for some reason, and I can't remember why, they have a bad feeling about Panic Park.
So Luke and Lizzie go back to the original Horrorland, right, Chad?
They do.
Yeah, they're the originals, and they're the ones in the video games as well. So I think these are the OG Horrorland kids. If anyone should dominate this place, it's Luke and Lizzie. It's unfortunate that their knowledge of Horrorland does not pay off at all in this book.
No, because we're not even in Horrorland. We're in Panic Park.
We're not in Horrorland, but like just any sort of like, this is how the horrors work. You know, you should never trust them. By the way, guys, this is all a reality TV show for monsters. That was told to us at the end of the first book.
This is going to be a long episode.
I would say this, though. I do think that once we leave Horrorland and go to Panic Park, things do get more interesting. It is a more interesting place than Horrorland.
I think I'm just sick of Horrorland. I can't say Panic Park is more interesting, but it does do things that I like.
I think Panic Park is hilarious in that it presents itself as, oh, this is like a scary ghost place, right? Everyone here is dead souls.
Yeah, it's neat. It's kind of neat because so we'll quickly start going through what happens. So they Lizzie and Luke show up. Jillian says that they're lying about Panic Park being more dangerous. Then Byron shows up and takes them to the Hall of Mirrors. And there is a cool sequence. I actually think the sequence where they walk through the mirrors is written and described well. He did literature.
I thought it was filler. Honestly.
You thought so? I thought the moment actually felt. I thought it actually felt kind of cool. It was written in a tactile way that
it involved the senses, and that's a literature. So
exactly.
I think part of the things I would be able to appreciate, Paul. I was so caught up trying to keep track of the kids, and I don't know if you guys saw the same thing. I saw them as just a herd of cats.
Yeah,
like. Yep. They were not individual characters. Let's reference Avengers one more time for the umpteenth time. At least I'm like, oh man, that's so cool. That's Captain America over there, and he's doing things. Thor's like drinking a beer. These are just a mass of children that are just moving in unison, like the delightful kids from Down the Lane and Kids Next Door. They just stay as one.
He needs to give each kid a weapon and a class and stick to the class, which he does. He does use Carly Beth and Matt's quote unquote class, right, in this book. And I think it is good and effective when he does that. But the problem is he really badly wanted to lay all these kids out and get us invested in each child so that when we got to this part, it was like an Avengers comic book meetup, right?
I think the problem is his influences are visual media, and books are not visual media. Like, this is... This has to be vivid in the reader's imagination. Lord of the Rings has has 9 characters in the Fellowship,
right?
But we get more time, and we get like spotlights for them, and like we get to pair them off. Like, we'll pair off like Legolas and Gimli, or we'll pair off Merry and Pippin, or whatever, and we'll explore that dynamic. But it's not that you can't have tons and tons of characters. It's just that if you do that, you probably should look at like books and not movies.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I think you're on the right point. So the characters don't intersect in any interesting way. There's no...
Yeah.
As we talked, I mean, this has been done in other YA books that we could be reading. This is what Animorphs is, right? These kids are like bonded through trauma.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here where like any of these kids go, wow, it's crazy that we all had a paranormal activity event happen to us separately. And now I can finally talk to you about this. No one's ever been able to relate to me about all the trauma I have.
There's no time to like sit down and talk about this stuff other than it being a sob story or whatever. Like they're not real enough to have a conversation like that.
Right.
And I don't think like talking about trauma is something RL wants in his universe, which is fair.
No. RL bathroom reader Stine does not want to talk about kid trauma,
but I don't know. I think we'll get to bright spots, but we also have to talk about Byron. And in talking about Byron,
one of my favorite movies, we have to talk about Byron.
We have to talk about Byron.
What about he has those sea gutters and like, he just never puts a shirt on.
But Byron's. I could bring up so many problems I have with Byron. I don't mind him being like untrustworthy. That's fine. What I do super mind is that he's got a normal ass name and it's supposed to be funny because he's a big monster with a normal ass. That's like the contrast, right? Like, he's supposed to be a big monster that has a regular biblical white guy name, right?
Oh, that's so... I was getting like a Transylvanian vibe from Byron for some reason. Like, oh yeah, it feels like an Igor kind of...
Oh, really?
I just think it's Brian with the things mixed up. But
it's probably true.
I thought the joke of Byron was supposed to be that it's just a human person name, and his name isn't like Gulch or Schmeglor or Figgles.
Gulch or Schmeglor.
Sorry, I got myself there.
I should be loving Byron. Byron has no personality. He
shows
Byron he has shown up in like 8 of the 10 of these books and been like, guys, you gotta watch out, get out of here, and then he takes them somewhere and then nothing happens and he disappears and then nothing happens some more.
You gotta trust me. I know I screwed up. You gotta trust me.
At this point, it's frustrating even in this book how much the kids are just, I don't know, stranger danger, where like they trust him because he gave some of them a card one time.
Someone always vouches for Byron. Someone always enables Byron. Like,
Byron would never betray us. We love Byron.
Yeah, what was the good thing Byron did for you? Like, what like, whose life did he save? Like, because
he gave one of the kids a key card or something that didn't even work the way they thought it was.
Yeah, I think it took them down to like a place where they ran into the guys from the Time Machine book, the what are those guys called, with the Morlocks?
Morlocks?
Yeah, they ran into that little Morlock factory, and that was really the only thing that came out of that card.
I just
I'd read the shit out of Morlock Factory. That sounds like such a good book.
I think Byron is an interesting character in that, like, this is how mediocre, like, people, like, neutral to fame and infamy. Like, this is just, someone's always vouching for Byron because he hasn't done anything that wrong yet.
That's true. Well, everyone has been so aggressively wrong to them that by simply being neutral, you become a positive force in their lives.
Yeah. So Byron's gone.
Byron's gone.
We walk through the goo.
before the quicksand, say it, Kevin. You have to say it. It's called quicksand. The book calls it quicksand.
Well, we're not there yet. We're not there.
Oh,
yet.
There's different.
This
not
is
that
the mirror
goo.
goo. We're not at the mud goo.
Okay, I just want to make sure you weren't trying to quickly jump over the quicksand like they did.
That is slow mud at best.
We don't have to make a big deal of it. Can we talk about the fact that Lizzy and her brother had a blog or researched the kids?
Yeah, that's my second note. Is they have a blog, and I'm like, huh.
But they just did internet. They never elaborated because I think Arl doesn't know what that meant. But he just they came here in search of the kids that are missing.
Yeah, these two 30-year-old teenagers wrote a blog.
Holy shit, Kevin! That is the greatest point that I did not even think of.
They should be 30.
They should be 30.
Imagine they show up and they're adults, but they're wearing kids' clothes that are ill-fitting. I'm here to help you.
How do you do, fellow kids?
And they're get out of Panic Park.
Jill, can you read their minds? I'd rather not.
They're mostly thinking about taxes and retirement, I think.
And everything in their body hurts and they feel bad about it.
Yeah, they have a blog and they stalked all these kids. They post personal information about these children on their blog. What? I would not trust Luke and Lizzy. They have bad vibes all around.
Yeah. But it's that's a fair point, Kevin, especially that they're 30. If you're coming into this series as a diehard I love Horrorland, there's no one character I would trust more than Luke and Lizzy.
But they have no character traits in this.
But they survived Horrorland. They're the originals. They're the crafty veterans that will. You're oh my god, things are stepping up. That Luke and Lizzy are here. This is their third or fourth time through Horrorland.
They're in a slightly different park, and they help none. They do no.
Here I am to stand in defense of Luke and Lizzy. Luke and Lizzy come to show up, and listen. I agree that their blog plan was weird. They should have had more of it thought out. Luke and Lizzy are undone for some reason by these stupid psychic twins, and I don't. Other than the plot needed to happen, you can feel the author say, if these kids read Luke and Lizzy's mind and know that they're helpful, this blows up all of their storyline about trying to escape Panic Park and this whole plot cul-de-sac. So the psychic twins read our hero's mind and say they're lying, therefore making the twins fucking suck. Right?
Yeah. Well, it instantly, as someone who doesn't know the twins, right? As an outside observer here, because I've never had any psychic connection to them, instantly I'm well, Jillian's wrong, right? Because I'm in the mind of Lizzy, and I know she's trying to help them, and Jillian is saying she's not. So Jillian is wrong, right?
But can we trust Lizzy? Is Lizzy also deceiving us?
That's true. I mean,
she's this is what the twins do, is they break us. I've never seen a story do this where you read one. I'm sure there's a book that's been written somewhere. Please, listeners, write in that has done this, where you've read one chapter, right? We read I Have Strange Powers, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where we were in the mindset of our heroes.
Yeah.
And these were kids who were on this adventure. We understood their morals and their ethics. They essentially were lying to us, the reader, in that they had some sort of conspiratorial nature with the villain of this book series, but also they were shocked to find out he gave them his powers.
Jillian is also not giving us details, is the other thing. Jillian's vaguing about they don't want to help us, they're bad. It seems vague and like an overreaction, which makes me not trust Jack and Jill, and maybe I shouldn't because their main enemy has mind control powers.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another book where, and I'm sorry to use Game of Thrones as a reference, where it's very clear, you don't know if Littlefinger's betraying you. Sure, that's part of the story.
Sure.
Can you imagine reading that first book?
Yeah, but you're never
and you're Ned Stark's mind. You're following Ned and you're hearing his inner thoughts and his emotions. And then you read the second book, and this is not what happens in Game of Thrones. I'm not spoiling it for you. Ned Stark is I betrayed the king, and I stabbed him. Ned stabbed him in the back. And you're wait, no, but we were him for a period of time.
Right.
And now he's a villain? What the hell?
I think you can have unreliable narrator like that, though. And I don't think it's great. I don't think it makes for great literature, but this is a Goosebumps. I think we could still have a Lizzy betrayal, and it could kind of work. I don't know. I could see it working. This is not the part of the book I have the most problems with, surprisingly.
Okay, yeah, this part just really threw me for what are we, author, who are we to trust? But I don't even know if you want us to...
No, I'm with you,
Sorry,
Chad.
yeah.
I would agree that I wasn't thinking about it too much, but every now and then, whenever Jillian would try and fight back against Lizzie, I would be like, "What the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Like, leave her alone."
Yeah. Well, I was like, what? So knowing Jillian, I was like, Jillian kind of has like a good beat on this kind of thing, but she could also be compromised. So it was kind of up in the air. Like, I don't really have an attachment to Luke and Lizzie. Like, I don't really get what's so fucking good about them. Like, all of these kids have survived Horrorland so far, so they can't be that rare to be a supernatural, like,
I think
young
having
adult
played the
protagonist.
game, I was very endeared to them because I had spent hours with them.
This is my whole fucking problem with this expanded universe bullshit, which is, well, if you played the game, or if you did the other, like, 9 hours of research, or if you read all the books, but if you read Tolkien's letters, it's like, can we just have a self-contained story?
If it helps at all, Kevin, I already can tell that this book makes the previous game not canon, because not only do they not reference it, the villain, the creator of Horrorland in that game is this like Beekman's World type dude. He's not here. This is not that guy.
All right, so we're in Panic Park, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're there now. We went through the mirror. We went through the goopy mirror. I thought it was cool. And then
Paul liked it. Paul liked the sensory information. I thought it was time wasted, but
and then we're in Pleasantville now. We have a Pleasantville situation on our hands.
We're in Haunted School.
Or Haunted School, yeah.
I feel like this kind of shouts out Haunted School, and I kind of like this scene with like the shadow children.
Yeah, this vanished girl who says I vanished over and over is scary.
The attraction names are really tossed off. Like Hole of Horror, Scream House. Come on.
Yeah. They're not.
I mean, Tunnel of Hate is iconic now. At first, I was like, I don't know about that one.
Tunnel of Hate rocks and is the best scene that RL has ever written in any book.
RL in quotations.
RL.
I mean, it's ripping off the Blame Thrower from Mystery Men, but
I think there's also a Hitchhiker's Guide that has a similar type thing.
I did not expect, but I should have expected a Mystery Men's reference in this episode.
You got Mystery Men.
The Blame Thrower, Jesus. It was so funny to be described a Pleasantville black and white world besides the kids. And hearing about like a little child who's ghost walking everywhere, like, oh, this is like 1920s Victorian boardwalk haunted house, amusement park. And they're like, everyone was dressed in the 70s. I was like, that is old, I guess. That is an old time for a kid.
Distant funk music was playing.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me to get down on it.
One person had an afro, that kind of
that is like
that
is actually a description.
It's also one. I saw an African American with an afro. I was like, and then two other guys. I was like, why'd you write it like that?
I'd like to know what they look like, please. Please tell me.
There was definitely like some like junior editor being like, how can we clean this up with the least amount of pushback from RL? Because I am not paid enough to engage with
he
him.
has so much power over his books probably at this point, right? If he's like, I said it's good for the book, put it out there. That's his voice now in the 90s.
I am RL.
I am RL. I had surgery to make my voice like this now.
He has achieved full Wizard of Oz status at that point.
Yeah. We get another ghost tornado like we did in Cry of the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, cool ghost tornado. Yeah,
that's all right. I'm feeling okay at this point. That's all right. We're good. Panic Park closed in 1974.
Dun dun.
With the disappearance of several park guests, and so the park guests disappeared, and then the park was shut down.
Right.
Yeah, I kept thinking they're going to evoke an accident, a Five Nights at Freddy's bite of 87, if you will.
I agree.
Neither of us will.
I agree. I fully believe that Chad has nailed the reference.
I wilt.
But this version of a roller coaster went off the rails and 10 people died and the park closed down. There's none of. Maybe we'll find that out next book. But
the park went all bored kid with Roller Coaster Tycoon, and the roller coaster went off the rails.
Maybe we'll find out the next book. It's something like less interesting, where they did a development IP deal with Garfield, and people hated it.
Chad, we know it's going to be less interesting than anything we think of right now.
They made a mascot island of just the dancing pandas, and that's all the park can sustain.
I did love RL's description of the ghost shadow people. He said their skin was the color of ashes after a fire dies out. I'd argue he did another literature here.
I won't disagree.
That is a well enough written sentence. Good job.
I think the next moment in this, I wrote down, why is any of this happening? And it wasn't until today, talking to you boys, I realized why. When the kids were like, "We should all take a picture together."
Yeah,
wouldn't we want to remember this? I'm like, what? Aren't you all like scared for your? It just felt like nonsense to stop right now and do this.
Julie's like, taking pictures is my whole thing. Why haven't I taken a picture ever in Horrorland? I'm like, fair point.
I completely forgot that there was a camera book episode, and that's what her thing was. I was like, I don't know why this girl is obsessed with taking pictures.
Guys, I think that RL forgot until he was writing that day and then said, "Oh, I can use that."
Oh. Time for literature, says RL.
He was at breakfast and he went, "Oh," and all of the other Stine family members know that when that happens, Father will disappear for the day because he has finally gotten his a moment.
Yeah, he squirted water out of his mouth as he's so fond of writing about.
Wait, why would he squirt water?
In like 3 separate books, he's got characters who spit water. And that's their
I just
trait.
pictured him over the typewriter, either drooling or shooting it like a fish does out of a pond to knock a fly off.
He's got a bucket all the way across the room.
Okay, like a pound, not pontoon. What's it called?
Spittoon.
Spittoon. Thank you.
Right.
Splatoon.
So like a splatoon. All right.
Thank you, Kevin, for shouldering this.
There's that was not less interacting with my friends, more getting to this plot because we're almost an hour in, and I'm still on page 1 of my notes. So, okay, there's no people in the picture, so they have to. So Robbie Schwartz has to nerd out for a little bit about what kind of time travel they're in,
and none of his logic is right. That is not. Because we don't exist in the 70s, we're not showing up in the photo. That's not how that works, Robbie.
It would be really, really funny if Robbie Schwartz had a meta moment and he's like, or maybe the person writing this doesn't know how this works.
What if they took the picture and was like, oh no, we look 70s now. We're wearing bell bottoms.
That would fill up a few pages with how people are dressed, which I know RL wants to do.
Yeah, it would play to his strengths for sure.
Yeah.
We meet Rocky.
I had to look up who Rocky was because I could tell it was a reference. I kind of vaguely remembered the name. He's the third. He's the dummy from the side dummy from the third slide.
Okay, yeah, and we're getting a little ridiculous here. Come on, man. We only remember one dummy, maybe 2. I don't even remember the first dummy. Who's the real evil dummy from the first Slappy book?
Oh yeah, God, I can't remember either. I'm sorry, listeners. There's only so little space. We, like Sherlock, can only have so much in our mind palace for this.
That's like a defense mechanism.
Oh yeah, we had to shield our hearts from taking.
Yeah,
you know, in the Crystal Skull, when Cate Blanchett absorbs all of that alien knowledge in a freezer, that would be what would happen to us if we remembered all Goosebumps.
It's part defense, part I have to remember 20 kids to get through this entire series.
And then Robbie's like, maybe it's not the past. Maybe we're in a parallel universe. And they're like, Robbie, you crazy. Rocky the dummy says go away and blast worms out of his nose. They find a park guide. Stop me if there's a special moment among any of us.
I was more just like, at this point it just feels like that we are on a roller coaster into different little stops of references and previous character adventures.
I would go less roller coaster, more walking tour.
Walking tour.
It's a small world.
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say.
Tram.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Skyrail.
Exactly. I was gonna say like a Disney ride where you go in a big circle or figure 8 through a space, and that
there's like have you guys been to? I think the one out here in LA, at least, there's a Disneyland monorail tram, or there was, and people would just ride that, and that was like a big deal.
Yeah, there's one in Florida too.
They made a whole Tiny Toons about it.
That's right. Oh, Summer Vacation. That was the joke. That was a really good one.
I watched that fucking Tiny Toons special like a million fucking
Me too.
times.
I loved How I Spent My Summer Vacation. That's a great animated film.
Me too.
Let's watch that sometime. Anyways.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yep. Summertime.
So basically nothing happens until they figure out, okay, we need to explore more. And they go
we
and
need to find the carousel, right?
Right, the burning carousel, which I don't even know why was the flaming carousel important.
I thought it was a flaming roller coaster.
No, carousel.
Oh, or Ferris wheel?
Carousel.
Okay, because they kept seeing a vision of the kids on it, and it was on fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was carousel.
This is another one of my super strength those where I'm like, I'm sure it happened. Like,
no, it's carousel.
Chad, if you believe strong enough, I do think you could make it happen.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it could overpower the milquetoast story that we're encountering. So and take over.
God. I don't even know what milk toast is, but it sounds spicy next to what's going to happen for the next 90 pages.
Well, so the next part is cool. I forget who they see. It's Billy and Sheena. They see them on top of, I guess, a fake mountain. Maybe it's a roller coaster ride or something.
We find out it's a fake mountain, but this is where, like, I'm all fucking discombobulated.
Yeah, I'm trying to get, like, a sense of scale in this park, because they're on top of a mountain in the park.
And it's like a mountain?
It's like a whole mountain.
Like in the middle of
Disneyland Adirondacks. That's how you say that.
Adirondacks?
Adirondacks. That's
yeah.
There's like that Thunder Mountain or whatever.
Yes.
So I figure it's like that scale.
Sure. Yeah.
But then it becomes a House of Leaves type. The scale of it can shift as need be, and as you're climbing it.
Yeah, they start to walk towards them, and it starts to scale out and become slippery. Then some sort of rock slide occurs, and it's really cool because all the kids start falling except for Luke, who does cartwheels down it, which is sick.
I also noted that. I was like, okay, Luke.
That was kind of a dope moment.
See, don't you like Luke and Lizzy now? Luke did cartwheels.
Luke did a cool cartwheel. It was neat. But then Jackson pulls telekinesis out of his back pocket, which has just been his thing.
Well, what happens is the avalanche is actually paper mache.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's bouncing off of them, and they're not being hurt. But they still can't get to Billy and Sheena, which is what they want.
Well, that makes it even more confusing that you can tell that it's fake. It's scarier and weirder if it's like a living mountain, right?
Yeah, why are we being let off the hook in like the parallel like psycho dimension? Just kill a kid. Just kill a fucking kid. Do us all a favor.
But I mean, like, if you're saying it's paper mache, what does that mean? That there's like horrors inside the mountain going, great, add more paper mache as we stretch this mountain out. Like, it's really hard to picture.
How different would it be if Matt Daniels fucking died here because a rock crushed him? And then we get to the egg challenge, and we're like, what do we do? And it's like, we don't know because Matt Daniels is dead.
Or if Carly Beth was like, Matt told me about the egg juice.
Yeah.
And she starts eating it, and she hulks out.
This is a great point. If these kids matter as much as RL thinks they do, kill one and prove it. I think that is a gauntlet that I will throw down in a future book for RL.
Paul, that is one of the hardest lines ever uttered on Goosebumps.
I know. I flashed to a picture of Paul, and that quote just emblazoned next to it. Just
it goes so hard, so cold. These kids matter so much. But
kill one and prove it.
Kill one and prove it. Oh, man.
If you had to kill one kid right now, you're the writer of this book. Each of you, which one are you killing?
I guess
I'm killing Jillian because she's just screwing up left and right. I don't like her vibe. Her vibe sucks. Jill's dead.
You say Jillian?
Yeah, Jillian's dead to me.
No, from a plot standpoint, it actually helps your story of Jillian can't read minds. I think the kids are a double agent thing is so stupid and fucks up everything that I was like, yeah, just kill off Jillian. You can keep the psychic kid, but now the brother's like, I lost my sister. I saw her turn to a skeleton.
Yeah,
and like it awakens his next Super Saiyan level of psychic power.
Yeah, I've got a lot of some shit about Jackson isn't adding up. Like,
oh wow,
the fact Jackson has telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the last time we see that, right? When he
does use it again.
Really...
Oh, he's using it like half of the challenges. I kept writing down going, Jackson gets him out again. Jackson gets him out again.
Jackson,
this is so
Jackson is OP in this book, and he reserved his powers until
Please nerf RL.
Yeah, he was he could have been doing this from the beginning. He could have that piece of newspaper that flew into their hands and gave them the plot point that they needed earlier. He could have snatched it out of the air on his own. We didn't even need the storm.
Jackson is like a regular-sized human in the Redwall world. Like,
yes.
That is the power differential that is happening.
Oh my god, can Redwall do a story sometime where they're like, we found a giant and it's a baby?
It's
like a human baby?
In the first Redwall, horses and human-sized carts exist.
Yeah, it's over they were calling it a human, right? There's no like, and there's Paul the farmer and he steps on us.
Well, there are like, there in the first Redwall book, like humans do exist, but then Jake's kind of he doesn't rewrite the book, but he's just like, whatever. Like,
yeah, we'll hand wave that away.
I'm cooking, baby. No more humans.
Yeah. Get this kids out. Yeah. So I think that's why we'd all target the psychic twins. We would take one of them out at least.
Yeah.
They are, as much as that should be cool that they have psychics, because that's the closest to any of these kids being unique. They're actually a big problem in the story.
Mm-hmm. I think the psychic twins are compromised. I think they're mind controlled or something, but I have a little bit of proof that I'll bring up later.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
So Jackson telepulls the Deeps. The Deeps are like, hooray, we're saved. Now we got to go to the Tunnel of Hate.
Now we get the best sequence in the book.
This is maybe one of the best sequences ever.
I skipped over most of this. I just...
It is here's why it's the best, Kevin. I'll lay it out for you. So they go...
Kevin just went... I've read this in Mystery Men and skipped it.
I just didn't care. I just, they're just being assholes to each other.
Well,
like, this is...
it goes on too long, for sure. It is... He really revels. And I think...
You could tell he was like digging it. He was like, oh my god, I found something.
I think he hates these kids more than we do.
He really does. He lets them pour out his hate, his self-loathing for all of them.
Yeah.
Upon each other. It's incredible, though. They go into this tunnel, the reverse tunnel of love, and they begin to hate each other. And they start to scream really mean things, fight, choke each other, legitimately choke each other to the point
they're trying to kill each other.
They're literally they're whacking each other over the head with boat oars and knocking them into the water. Lizzie's holding it together, though. Lizzie is the only one who's but she's still pissed. She's mad.
Yeah, she still calls people moron.
She's aware that the psychic damage they're all taking, and is like, it's making us think otherwise. But my god, there are some amazing lines.
Some rippers of lines. One of my favorites. You stink out loud.
Yes, I had that. I was looking at that right now.
I did register you stink out loud. I did see that.
You stink out loud,
that
he muttered.
Incredible one. Another one, stop it, you dumb clucks, which almost sounds like cucks. Mm-hmm. And then they say...
That's as closest to a curse.
Everyone just go die.
One of them starts to vomit.
Yes, Sabrina starts barfing green to just sort of big dog the rest of the kids. so they reach.
She's establishing a territory.
She's establishing dominance. So they come up on 5 of the missing kids who've all been in this tunnel maybe for the last 72 hours.
Full feral children at this point.
Full feral children.
Now they're Morlocks.
Michael, Abby, Sabrina, and Boone, with Molly and Brittany being unconscious for this part. But they have 4, totally, hate-pilled, hate-based kids. And Sabrina barfs green at Carly Beth, and Carly Beth calls her a loser.
Brittany jumps and bites Molly in the throat. Her teeth sink into her throat. There are 16 children battling each other in ultimately an over-the-top rope brawl. Which
also it seems like in waist-high water.
Yeah,
right?
It's deep. It's deep water because Lizzie. I think twice
she goes under.
Twice only once in this sequence.
There's the threat of drowning. Yeah. I was sourpussing. But you guys are helping me come out of this. This is
Kevin. This is the closest to Rage Bus in the Fear Street movie. Yeah, is what I thought.
This is Riot Bus.
This is Riot Bus. Yeah, this is oh my god, is this just what only ever works for me in Goosebumps? Is when kids just want to murder each other.
This scene works so well for me. I don't know if you guys have read a lot of George Saunders stuff, but all of the kids are talking like George Saunders characters in this portion of the book, which is incredible.
I have not.
If you go read it, just look up a couple George Saunders short stories. If you're listening to this now, Chad and Kevin, I suggest after recording you go check some out. His characters talk like this, just real, almost just the stupidest stuff you can say
You stink out loud.
They'll say stuff like that. They'll say stuff like "you stink out loud," which is hilarious, objectively very funny.
I skipped over one of my notes, but I feel like so you can understand my mental state as we get to Tunnel of Hate. When we were on the fake mountain, I wrote, "I can feel my brain starving to death."
You know what was the least nourishing part of that, and we kind of touched on it already, is just that after all that chapter of, we're climbing, we're failing, we can't get them, just having Jackson go, yoink, psychic yoink.
Psychic yoink.
Why do we even bother? What are we doing?
Right, that's what's annoying, is that he does set up a pretty cool situation here, but then he just uses the same power that he's already used to get out of a problem, right? Like, and ultimately it's that brain-starving laziness that makes these books not work. These Horrorland books specifically, right?
Yeah, it's just it's the problems that are presented are never really solved by
not by character, not by
any
character.
virtue.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Not by a character-based motivation or solution. It's always just what will be the most convenient way to get me out of here, and it tends to be something happened. That's it. Like, it's not someone did something. It's something happened.
Or something almost happened. Like,
right.
The rocks weren't really rocks; they were paper mache.
Right.
At one point in the mountain, it was just like one sentence line, and maybe it was the cartwheel and I misread it, but it was that one of the kids fell down and was like screaming as he fell, and then he just landed on the bottom and he was fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there was a sentence of danger, and he was already slid down. I was like, oh, what a fun little time he had.
I think the real problem with these like expanded universe stories, not that this is the shining example of what you can do with an expanded universe or whatever, but I think my problem is that they're entirely too logical. Like, there's not enough emotion behind the decisions or the situations or whatever. The logic that has already been like set up defines what happens to these characters. It makes too much sense to say anything. It's just events playing out.
Well, I think this is most obvious in our next section, if you guys are kind of move forward. Byron shows up and is like, "Trust me this time, y'all. Trust me. Don't worry, you can't read my brain because horrors aren't readable."
Well,
right?
we don't get that here.
You're you're wasting your time. Jillian doesn't say anything here, which is a point of contention later on. But Byron says you're wasting your time when Jillian tries to read his brain, because she can't do it. We learn later that she can't do it. And there is a part where, even though they all hate each other, they work together to have Jackson telekinesis the boat on the right path. But they talk about it first, and then Arl writes, "That's just what we did," and then he details them actually doing it again. So he says 3 times the same thing, and he can't keep getting away with it.
I know.
You can't get away with it.
No, I'm with you, Kevin. When he said that's just what we did, I was like, how did that one get through, guys? How did that make it to this piece of paper? How did you do that?
He gets another 5 or 6 off. Remember having problems with the 5 or 6? Like 5 or 6 people ran up to me. There's another 5 or 6 people later on. It's like, which is it? 5 or 6?
When you can feel the author going, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You're with me on this, right? Like, yeah. Moving on. It is not great for a book.
Apparently, he never read the C.S. Lewis line that was like, "Have some sympathy for your reader, although the things may be crystal clear in your head."
It's a great C.S. Lewis line. I hadn't heard that one. I like that.
Yeah, he's got some good writing advice.
Yeah,
and some good life advice too. I don't like Narnia, but I do kind of like C.S. Lewis.
Did you ever read the Screw Tape Letters?
No,
I've never read.
That's pretty good. I read it back when I was a practicing Christian, but like, it is letters from a small devil named Screw Tape. I think writing to his nephew, Devil. I'm sorry if I'm getting the details wrong, but it's like advice on how to corrupt man.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's like imagine Danny DeVito writing letters about like, and then get in his mind and prey on his lust or whatever. It's less heavy-handed than you think. It's kind of cute.
Oh, that's fun.
I love that. I like thought experiments like that. Like there's a YouTube video called like 5 ways to maximize misery.
Uh-huh.
that's like, just, if you want to be as miserable as possible, do this shit. It's like, oh, cool. Now I know how to be a little happier.
I'll do not that. Yeah.
I am smart.
So RL is very much like, I just want to get you along to this. So Byron has shown up, and he is dodging all sort of plot ways that we would realize that he's evil, and goes, you should follow me to get out of Panic Park, right? He's apologized. He's like, right, you shouldn't be here. This will get you back to Horrorland. Everything I said was wrong before.
He keeps doing this. He keeps ping-ponging back and forth between trying to help them and then screwing up and realizing that he screwed up and he's going to try and help them again. Don't trust
Byron does a YouTube apology video straight on at the camera saying, I did do these things. I regret my action.
I'm sorry, period, is the title of the video. Or my response.
My response, yes.
My response.
The problem is that Byron cannot realize that he is Mr. Bean and that anything he does will create a cascading series of failures that will put these children in more trouble.
But also, I don't think he is coming across like Mr. Bean here. That's what I think the book wants us as a kid reader to think.
Right, he's Mr. Bean without any of the whimsy.
Yeah, I think the book wants us to trust him, even though all of the giant red flags, and it seems pretty clear that he's genuinely sinister and fucking over these kids, right? Like, he says, follow me and go into if you want to get out of this into Horrorland, you got to go through this maze the maze of midnight. It'll definitely just be a gauntlet of things that could kill you.
Yeah. I want to believe that he is evil, but I actually don't think he is. I truly think that he is a good guy that is just so floundering, and I just think he's like RL, figuring out what the hell's going on as it goes along.
I don't even care. Like, I don't even care what his intentions are. He hasn't done anything. Have him actually do something. Have him actually accomplish some kind of goal. Just don't use him. Like, he's just a device. Like, I'm not invested.
Kill Byron.
Kill Byron.
Kill Byron. And prove it.
Have him dying in Carly Beth's hands and being like, I just believed that what we were doing to the kids here was wrong and that you should be able to live a happy life. Get out of here. And then he turns into a skeleton.
Have him, like, in a basement and his side, like, nailed to a cross and, like, his side is pierced and he's bleeding LCL and he's, like, getting the robot Shinji. Fucking Byron.
I want Hellraiser punishments to happen to Byron.
Midnight Maze?
Midnight Maze. It's just a gauntlet of callbacks.
Thank you, Chad. It is not, in fact, a maze. It is a gauntlet.
It's a hall. It's a video game hallway.
Yeah, they literally never encounter any maze-like problems inside of this.
There are no maze qualities to this. It is a gauntlet. It is maybe, if I was generous, so gauntlet plus maze equals dungeon. Let's just that makes sense to people.
Yeah.
If you can get
but this is a corridor.
This is a corridor. This
RPG
is a Final
corridor.
Fantasy 13 corridor.
Yes.
But I agree with you. There is no maze-like quality to this. But there's the not quicksand. There's this slippery mud sequence, and then there is the next two parts are cool. I think.
Sorry, I have one note I had to say before we move into the two parts.
So you want to talk about slippery mud?
No, before slippery mud, I just want to say the one thing about when they were pitched. I wrote this down because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. As Byron's pitching the maze on them.
Yeah.
Lizzy is talking about how last Halloween, Mom and Dad took us to a haunted house that had been set up downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the kind where you pay admission.
Yeah.
What?
You know what? That line did bump on me for some reason. I didn't really interrogate it, but it was a strange line.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that means as opposed to a haunted house that is really haunted.
Yeah, sometimes churches will do like the scare you Christian haunted house, right?
Oh, Hell House, sure.
Yeah, those are free.
The screw tape, tapes of haunted houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being overly critical. That part really stuck out to me when I was like, wait, let me think about who Lizzy and Luke are. These kids have gone through hell. Their parents, I think what's also great about Horrorland is their parents also survived Horrorland.
I'll admit they've gone through heck.
They got through Home for Infinite Losers, Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
just gonna assume you're right. I don't know.
It's an old thing in Dragon Ball where they had to censor hell. They changed the letters to HFIL, so it was the Home for Infinite Losers. It was very cute.
That is very good.
Yeah. The thing is,
I think these kids, sorry, Paul, is that they would not want to do spooky things ever again.
Right.
Time is supposed to stand still in the Midnight Maze. It's the whole point of the Midnight Maze. It's always midnight in the Midnight Maze. However, 1, that never comes up. 2, we're in a parallel dimension. Who gives a shit how time works here? 3, Byron is still moving in regular time as he's outside of the Midnight Maze, calling into the Midnight Maze. So does time just snap to midnight, the Midnight Maze?
I don't even think it's a time thing. I think it's literally just a lighting thing.
The moon above them is fake, and it's just got some...
It's just light. It's light. Just lighting.
We get to... We get to the quicksand mud floor. It's not deep quicksand. This doesn't have anything to do with any kid. He just wants to put quicksand in there to help me continue my bit that quicksand isn't real, which it isn't. Can't hurt you.
And how do they escape? They hit the bottom.
Yep.
They don't even... They're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just pull ourselves out.
And then they walk out of it, yeah.
Yeah, no kid falls prone and is suffocated to death in the 3 feet of quicksand they have.
Yep.
Next problem, 6 eggs.
6 eggs. Now, this part's cool. This part is cool, guys, because the eggs crack open. The monsters from the monster book, for some call me monster, appear. And Michael remembers his training, eats some, becomes...
Eat the egg, Michael.
He eats a little egg, becomes Monstro, Michael, and kills the monsters. He kills them.
He's like, step back, y'all. This is my expertise.
Black blood is shed.
He is snapping necks, biting throats, and elbow dropping into oblivion, these monsters. Their husks of bodies are left all around the children. Real, honest death shows its face to the children.
He de-eggs, then punches a monster in the throat, re-eggs, his arm grows to monster size, explodes the monster that he punched.
It's incredible.
He steps on one of their chests, right? He just like heel kicks them.
Yup. And then he has the fucking hardest line in Goosebumps history afterwards, which is, I'm part monster. Can't seem to get rid of it.
Dude. He did the third, and RL at this moment does his third literature of the book.
Third literature. The D&D mindset in me is that he definitely should have been like, hey, has anyone got a jar so I can pocket some of this egg goop?
Yep.
Because I need to fight my way out later. You definitely should have pocketed a little bit.
They should have had a little goop on the run.
Hey, just a walking around egg. Just some loose egg.
Little pocket egg goop. You don't know. You might need it to get out of here.
It's a great point, Chad.
Yeah.
We do get a great line. He groaned as he sucked down the thick, sticky goo. I will not comment further.
Oh, yeah, it's
I will
horrifying
not comment further upon it.
Comment further on it?
I will only report the line, and now I shall move on.
Should have been flagged.
Carrying on.
There's more that should have been flagged in this, but yes.
Curly Beth versus masks.
Mask gauntlets. Masks flying out of everywhere, and she eats them.
Not a particularly thrilling scene in the story sense, but creepy looking. Because they're like hanging there in midair, floating and screaming and making terrible rictuses of faces. It's cool looking. In my mind, these last 2 sequences, even the quicksand sequence, are cool visual sequences for a comic book. Would you agree?
I disagree, my friend.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't. Don't go where I can't follow, Mr. Fro.
Okay, I can't fight for this any longer. I rescind it. I rescind my cool. No,
it's fine. You're allowed to have that opinion.
But what is he saying here? So, like, it's 2 fights in a row, and I'm sorry that's like become like the biggest punchline of the show is me trying to figure out what RL is trying to say.
That's all this podcast is.
Fully knowing that what he's trying to say is pay me money. Kids are stupid. Don't write from the heart. That's what he's trying to say.
I mean, there's maybe a hope where he's hoping you as a kid reader are like, oh my God, Monster Mask is back. I can't believe it.
But if you do something twice in a row, and what we have here is you become the monster to defeat the monster.
Yeah. Like, you needed to pad those out with a different one if you're going to have multiple Wolverine Hulk rage outs.
Or you are dangerously close to establishing a theme. Like, is it like what is this about? Like, do these kids have to wield their trauma instead of surpass it? Like, do they have to complete the circle? Do they have, like, is there no escaping it?
It seems as if he is saying that with this sequence, right? Yeah. Like, he's finally gotten there. And that's what my point is, that I think that these parts have cool imagery. Yeah. They do some cool things. And I think it actually starts to pay off what his intention for this sequence of books was, but he could have simply had more books written about all these children, and then he could have thrown Lizzy and Luke, our 30-year-old children, into the maze. He could have thrown them into the maze and had them go through, or like some sort of sequence of like, events, and had them encounter each kid from the books that you just read, and just hint at it, right? Like, and you don't need to. You could have that Michael monster sequence, and right, or is it Matt? I can't remember the name now. Matt or Mike?
It's Matt. Yeah,
Matt,
I can think it's Michael. It's Matt.
Yeah. So no, it is Michael. It is Michael.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so Matt isn't even. Wow.
Yeah, Michael
Matt
Monroe.
Daniels is.
Oh, we need to reevaluate
monster.
the quiz points. We need to reevaluate the quiz points.
Man.
Back.
Paul taking the crown. Sorry, it goes to Chad.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, no, I don't want it because Paul
Chad,
actually had more points than me.
You are now God King of Goosebump Quiz.
I'm pulling the Mean Girls and I'm breaking the crown into pieces and tossing it to all of us. We're all kings.
He's freed us. He's freed us.
Free. Sabrina kisses Masky Beth, freeing Masky Beth from.
I know. I was like, oh man, do it, RL, you coward. Have them kiss for real.
I clicked my pen and I scratched out on the cheek in my book, as I encourage all readers to do. Just go for it.
Just go for it, RL.
That book is now illegal in America. Yeah.
Do not you can't defeat the haunted mask with hedged love. All right.
You are surrounded by hedges, but not hedged love.
Oh, sure.
I love that this next part of it was, so we're just running through the gauntlet, right?
Yeah, and like in this next room, they fight 3 eggs and 3 masks, so it's like kind of like a video gamey switch.
Oh my god, I wish that was true. I wish it was like, they're varying up the now there's a slime and there's a guy with a sword.
Oh, this boss is now recolored and it's just a regular enemy. Like,
is that an ulcerated tree spirit?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, at least I get like one of those little seeds so I can.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree though that we could have encountered both of these sequences, the Michael monster sequence and the Carly Beth mask sequence, as our main characters, as Lizzy and Luke, and had them encounter these kids, and then like maybe left them behind, having defeated their things. Yeah. And like, or like just like introduce them in a single sequence, and it's enough that even if you hadn't read the book, you're like, oh, I get the mechanics of how this thing works. And I'm able to understand that these are references to other children's problems.
Have Luke and Lizzy going through each of these attractions. Have one be like, I don't know, the nursery, and it's like a petting zoo, but it's got weird monsters, and they run into the egg creatures from that book.
Right.
And it seems like they're doomed, and then coming out of nowhere is a different colored monster, and he kicks all their asses, and then he eats some of the goop and change back to a kid named Matt or Michael, and he's like,
Matt or Michael.
I'm Matt or Michael, get out of here. And then he goes on his own way. And you're like, you're letting them be ships in the night passing as opposed to this amorphous death ball of kids.
Right. And you can bring them back. You can have them come back later again.
Sure.
Have Luke and Lizzy haunted by 12 dead children who are ghosts, who navigate them through this puzzle and also act as Knights of the Round summons.
Oh my god.
I love that.
So they can each do their special attack in the final boss if they leveled up the material.
While we're doing Final Fantasy references, I think like that great animated film that we all love where it was Seth Roth came back in 2007.
Of course,
Advent Children.
Advent Children. Remember at the end, or not even the end, when they were fighting like Bahamut?
That's like the middle.
Yeah. It's like it's just cooler than the rest. Actually, I think.
Because the whole group, like the end of that is just 20 minutes of Cloud versus Sephiroth, and I'm like,
but that middle part where they're comboing Cloud up, right?
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna boost you up, and then I'm gonna throw you up. Like, just do that for Lizzy and Luke.
No, that part's legit. I actually like the Tifa fight in the church the best. Like that's the.
Oh, that is pretty rad.
That's such a fucking good fight scene. Anyway, Jackson does nothing. Jackson uses no telekinesis in any of these situations.
He's on cooldown.
He doesn't use them in the quicksand. He doesn't use them in the egg fight. He doesn't use them in the
literally all
mask.
Literally all moments that we've established that's what I wondered. I hadn't read that book. I was like, oh, well, maybe Jackson like gets tired. Like at least do something. Like establish some sort of reason. Give us some sort of logic to this, right?
He's throwing it. He's throwing the game. I'm serious. I think Jack and Jill are fucking moles. I think they're
that would certainly help a lot of this if they are.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Okay. So we fight the pirates, and they say their rhyme, and then they drown all the kids.
No, that's the part I want to talk about. The rhyme, though. Come with us,
Chad. We're almost at an hour and a half.
You gotta hear it. Come with us. Come with the men. Come meet your fate with Captain Ben.
Okay, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Come with the men.
In the middle of this maze is a giant ocean for a boat, and then they just get past it and go on to the next part of the maze.
The solution was losing to the pirates and drowning.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they get knocked off and they just go through a tube, so they didn't do anything. Yeah.
The solution is be lucky, Scrub. Not even get good, Scrub. Be lucky, Scrub. And it's another underwater sequence. We already had that one in the Tunnel of Hate. You know what I mean? Even repeating like the types of like kind of beats that he's done, where it's like going underwater, seeing the children drowning, and that it's really strange.
You can tell that now he's rusty, and he's like, fuck, I have 30 more pages to write in the same story. I don't get my I'm so used to writing 70-page stories. They get to Horrorland. Welcome to Horrorland. Time for that?
No. So it's you think they do get to Horrorland, yes, but it turns out that this is still Panic Park, which I thought was cool. That I will say this. I was really upset to be back in Horrorland, because at least in Panic Park, I don't have to deal with the same dumb joke over and over again, which is weird food. And then and you also get actual like moments,
supernatural stuff.
Actual supernatural moments.
I mean, Panic Park is also doing that a little bit. You're right. It's a little less cheesy.
The Tunnel of Hate is actually affects your mind and makes you fight people.
Right.
You can't do that in Horrorland, because you have to have the guessing game of, is there something going on? Is there not something going on?
Will I die?
Safe? Yeah. I don't know. Will I die? I don't know. Like in Panic Park, the Tunnel of Hate actually affects your mind.
Right.
And Midnight Maze actually stops time.
Right.
Like
the very nature of reality is suspect in Panic Park.
And I feel like maybe Panic Park's a better version of Horrorland. Maybe I just want that. I don't think I get the will they won't they aspect of Horrorland. I don't think it's been working for me.
Maybe by the end of this, realities will merge and Panic Park and Horrorland will become one and the same.
Well, we're gonna find out, because we have the next book, The Streets of Panic Park, coming up, because we end this one on a cliffhanger where Karloff the Menace, created by Comic Boy Robbie.
Well, no, I don't think he made that. I don't think this is a new guy.
I think this is a new guy.
Is it?
You're thinking of the Maniac, which was confusing because the Maniac had been also alluded to with the title previously, and then he was like a sub boss.
Gotcha. Dr. Maniac, was the keeper.
Ah, I see. I see.
This is like some sort of Randall Flagg from a Stephen King novel of like, I am here. You can't see my face. I'm covered in shadow. My name is Karloff Menace, Mennis, but some call me the Menace.
Reference to Boris Karloff. I like it when RL shows his love of old scary movies. Like, that's good.
Of course, yep. Mm-hmm.
We learn that Jill can't read the thoughts of horrors, and that she lied to everyone in the group, which doesn't look great for Jill.
And Karloff the Menace was like, I want you all to fight. We're starting a kid fight club. Let's go.
Yeah, and let us go.
Let us go.
Let us go, says Karloff Menace. And then they have to stay in Panic Park forever. Do we do it?
Yeah, well, next book we will test the thesis of, Kevin, if we actually wanted Panic Park or if we want Horrorland back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to just call it one page of bonus material.
Yes.
That was that image of Inspector Cranium Thought Police. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's like a fake evidence piece, because that's what this book had been doing, right? Like, we found a ticket to Horrorland. There's a fake file. It says Inspector Cranium Thought Police, and then his written down notes. And this is the villain of the book you didn't read, Paul.
Okay.
Strange Powers.
I see. Okay.
Can read mind of anyone over the age of 3. Except for horrors, who always have the mind of a 2-year-old.
What? Byron is supposed to have a mind of a 2-year-old?
I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense, though. That makes sense, though. Like,
actually, he's right, though. It do make sense.
It do make sense. Like, now I feel like I can't get mad at Byron if he's just got a cat is supposed to have the mental capability of a 3-year-old. So Byron is less capable of leading a revolution than a cat.
The fact that Byron is even verbal is highly impressive.
You guys are focused on a different part. I thought it was more interesting that RL's establishing that in this world, babies have psychic shields until they're 3.
Yeah. Because of Psychic God.
Because God chose to give them that protective.
Yeah, their what is it? Their fontanelle is actually what protects them.
Fontanelle and baptism has a 3-year window where you can't be you can't be judged.
That's where you got to refresh it.
Yeah.
Also, just a quick note: can use brain power to open bottles and cans. Good to know.
Neat.
Okay, bottles and cans. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's been a bump.
That's been a bump. What a crazy book. Yeah. I think the next one we'll see Panic Park, kind of how we feel about all of this.
Chad, you had real quick. You had said you did not like this book, and I had pushed back saying that I think it was his best. Now, after careful consideration with the two of you, I will agree this is not a good book. But I still will stand by that this has the sequences of the best imagery that I think R.L. has created, and the best and funniest lines, and the best gag in the Tunnel of Hate.
I think Tunnel of Hate. It's a shame, Kevin, you skipped through the Tunnel of Hate because I think it's the best stuff that's been in these books in years.
Yeah,
I think even if I had scrutinized it fully, it wouldn't have been for me.
Wouldn't have held
but
up.
I just want to be on the other side of this. I just want to. I just want the bad joke ending and to put Horrorland behind us. And I don't know. It's just
making me not like Horrorland as much as I used to,
right?
Because
he's wringing it. He's wringing all the goodwill out of Horrorland.
Yeah, this is a dead, stoned cow that has been milked and bled to be nothing but a shriveled mummy.
Wow. I didn't know Chad would even kill cow in a metaphor until today.
It was tough. That's what RL has done.
What has he brought us to?
Yeah.
I don't like what Horrorland turns us into. I don't like what it makes us.
I think this book series is a Tunnel of Hate that is bringing this out.
Yeah.
We'll be reading that, and we'll also be covering other cool stuff on the next one. Thank you all for listening. If you want to support the show and get access to monthly bonus episodes of Camp Goosebuds, our Discord, get episodes of the regular show early, a bunch of other cool stuff, you can go to patreon.com/goosebuds. That keeps the lights on and keeps this hate tunnel going. It's a love tunnel. We love each other. Just these books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're just we're in a bit of a nadir with the books right now.
This show has made me like books, so
yeah. I appreciate other books so much more. Patreon.com/goosebuds. We really appreciate y'all's support.
Thank you.
You guys want to throw out anything else, or should we wrap up?
Check out Storylords. I do a guest episode on their season 2 finale. It's even though it's a finale, it's a good way to kind of it's a good look of what you got in store with Rich and Jeff and Josh. They write some really funny stories, and they have these persistent worlds that don't make my brain want to die. So give Storylords a look and check out the quiz show that I do with them at the end of season 2 if you want to hang out with us. And
I really enjoyed QM Kevin. I really enjoyed it.
It's fun. It brings me back to my college improv days,
Yeah. I also as a shout out, there's many ways to support the show besides Patreon. You can follow us on all sub feeds. But go check us out on Blue Sky. We made a Blue Sky account. goosebuds.bsky.social.
Yeah. Skeet us on the bussy.
Cousin Skeeter us, please. Paul, you got anything else?
I'll have stuff eventually, but not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, you will. All right.
Thank y'all for listening.
See you in the Midnight Maze.
Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye. Watch out for slippery mud.
Goop.
Bloop.
This episode of Goosebuds is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon supporters, especially those honored in the Book of Names.
The Book of Names.
Starting with Stefan Jive Turkey Kuwabara.
Low Belly Hate Me.
Ooh, Jive Turkey. He hasn't been Jive Turkey for a while.
He's back. It's back for the fall.
It's back, baby.
Hollis Hornbeak.
Michael McDowell.
Hey, Josh. Rabba.
Mickey C.
Nathan Dolezal.
Michael and Terry.
Buddy Morrill.
Alacade.
Mel Dibson.
Afsheen.
Dango Twists.
Zenticles.
Stealth, a beautifully fleshed skeleton Bates.
How beautiful.
Robert Moon.
Brian Wells.
Jason Crooker, the robotic dog.
That's not even the right person. It's a robotic dog. That's fine. It's fine. You're a robotic dog now, Jason Crooker. Glenn Castle. I think, Kevin, you knew that. I just ruined your joke. I'm sorry.
Miguel Pardo.
John Keedy Audio.
God. Oh, God, my brain. Calf!
Bring back Paranoia Shop. #Justice for Shoppers. The justice is never coming.
It's dead. Let the past die.
Justice doesn't exist.
The Juggalobalist.
Gregory D. Warren.
Cody Redfield.
Bradford Coulter are big fans.
Aiden is doing shots of Skittle Littles. I don't even know what those are.
Ooh, if they're like M&M's minis, then I'm
Oh
just
my
like
God,
100%
remember
in.
M&M's minis and how they were nano machines?
Yeah, man, they're so sick. Jar Jar Slinks and Jar Jar Slinks MacArthur Foundation.
Chosen one.
Levi Than Kidder.
Up and Champ.
It's a good... Chad, that was too good. You snuck it right in there.
Oh shit, yeah, I didn't even see what you did.
Levi Than Kidder. That's one. That's a merge.
That's one. That's good.
It's
I
a
love
merge.
the
It's
mashup.
a merge.
Jonas Eggman.
Carl.
Anthony Mulberry.
The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Elusive Koala.
Yanni Marco Vina.
Brooke X.
Jesus Christ.
Christian Van Sciver.
Jeremy Lowe.
Brian Hobgood.
Zach Connor.
Joe. Spooky Digital Ghost Tierney.
Tom Whittam.
Andrew Jadzix's wife has been singing in the... Andrew Jadzix's wife has been singing the name Juan Jalapeno for the whole ride home. Sorry, Andrew, your last name is hard to pluralize.
Wow.
Possessively pluralize.
Or to possessive.
Lord Cornwallis.
Carson Birkenbean.
Murph.
Tevin Ticklebean, 2 finger points at his eyes, points at you, points at his eyes, points at a distant apple man, takes a breath.
Damn, that was tense.
Let's get the Apple Man.
Rushy Glenn.
Luke. Period.
Whoa, good eyes.
Thanks.
Ship Handsome.
Matt McClellan.
Tanya Turtle.
Juan Jalapeno.
There it is.
Keith Alcrow.
Timothy Misudulakis was one of my favorite names to say until I just screwed it up.
I'm
Now you
so
hate
glad.
it.
I'm so glad I get this one. Clay McCarty, aka parentheses Yowie Gagarin. So that's a play on Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space.
Oh, I thought it was okay, but it is still the anime Yowie.
Yeah, but Yuri is the girl version of Yowie, which is the boys.
What? In my mind, it was just the Yaguai. That's what I was thinking about the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't feed a Yaguai after midnight.
Yowie Gagarin just works on so many levels, but I do, like, Chad's Yowie Gagarin, like, lives in my head forever. Like,
Is that how it's a Yowie Gagger?
Yowie Gagarin.
Hamboat.
Raymond Hernandez.
The Crowfens, but seasonal.
Matthew Sutton.
John Barber.
Jeff Coffey.
Kelsey Kinnaman.
Tobias Clark.
Russell Kasberg.
Xavier Jimenez Castillo.
Chris Putricus.
Scotty Pippen.
Dungeon Kappa.
MC Hamster commits his body to the ice.
Yes,
Yay.
welcome to the frost.
Warm it up with your body heat.
Zach Wirt.
Limp Duck.
Sarah Kemp.
Neat Virginia.
Jonas Blotterman.
Alex Moon, the robotic dog.
Yeah, the real robotic dog. Estimena, Lord of Paul's Pants.
Chris, Handjob Ghost that came out the TV Nelson.
Streak.
Kieran McNamara.
Diet Soda.
Paul Grasso.
Joe, regular name Scott.
Lamb.
Coleman Laguza.
Shag, Marry, Kill. Final edition, because the joke is wearing thin. Horrorland Horror, Amazo, King Jelly Jam.
Well, now that we know that horrors are 2 years old, we have to kill the horror. Legally.
Yep, okay, yeah. They have the mind of a 2-year-old.
But now you got to shag or marry King Jelly Jam?
I'm shagging King Jelly Jam. That's going to be a comfortable time.
No, he smells like awful.
That's okay. He's
So
going to be...
that's what shagging smells like.
That's what shagging's for.
I'm not saying that's what sex smells like, but shagging
shagging
does not smell
Definitely.
good.
Marry Amazo. Okay.
We're done. It's done.
He's got a job. He cares about his art.
Jonas Endevoldson.
A pair of Scots.
Levi Kidder.
David Gray.
Bryce Diori.
Luke Noodles.
Hugh Bolin.
Sam Bebino.
Some of Chad's bird friends.
Ma! The meatloaf!
Joe Gorman.
Burger's Wonderful World.
Nicholas Maloney.
Andre Villanueva.
Thomas Jancis.
Eric Horwitz.
Tiffany Lee.
Lucretia McKeeve.
Mutant Astronaut.
Need more kimchi.
Henry Torbert.
Adam Knapp.
Reed Stubendick.
Joey Evans.
Logan Derby.
Brad Schmelzer.
Chick.
Carewise Gamgee.
Swaggy Yolo Squire.
Cameron Hansen.
Callum Monster Misfire West.
That's a tricky one.
Yoplin.
Generally depressing.
The Deadly Bulb.
Philip Reynolds.
Ben Bohan.
Mr. Unimportant.
Neat Bit G.
Ryan R. Davis.
Scott Wable.
Resident Lorcana guy.
Hey, F-Dog.
Calamity Carl.
Gluten-free Rocky Mountain Oysters.
I'll try one. Greg Musto.
Stink Lich.
Ryan Carroll.
Megan McCormick Mason.
Tacky Tammy.
Hi, first time, long time.
Sprangle Buns.
Ninja Breadman.
Helodicus Frenchland.
Aaron Lord.
Dr. Chocula.
Oily Suds.
Mike Hart.
Robot Arena.
Sidge Trogdor.
Nice. We needed something to freshen things up. Cassandra Harris.
I would love a Dragon Ball character go, Goku and Goku Super
Sidge 3.
3. Max Boltzmann.
Big Nick Lade.
Kira and Brian are big fans. Big corner.
I love our big bump.
Big bump.
Love to get big bumped.
I like big bumps. I cannot lie.
That's why we fucked King Jelly Jam.
Dan Antonio!
Mike Spaghetti Jones.
Farah.
Whoa, I just thought the name Quest in my brain, but didn't hear anyone say it.
Postmaster.
Chris Curto.
Cole Gleason.
Jesse Boggs.
Michael Malloy.
Kyle O'Neill.
Red Baron.
Time Eats Flesh.
Soggy Newspapers.
Chris Kulik.
Dakota Kemp.
John W.
Anthony Stoker.
Brony_Danza.
Tanya Hyde wants more pretend friends in Goosebuds RPG. I agree.
We agree.
Keep asking.
Saturn Vidya.
Wunderskeen.
Max's war cry is Muppet noises.
Ooh, chilling. Wunderskeen.
Kiwi
Skeet Door.
Hurt, a.k.a. Cyberbully.
Blarben.
Logan Gilgus.
Radioactive Vampire Troll.
Starship Name.
Skeet Bush.
Scene.
And Dennis Reed.
Over the Moon.
Christopher Voice.
Mark Cameron.
Ret-IRL.
Daniel Hirschberger.
Sorry, Cameron Gansville. I'm going to say your name again because I was out of breath from Swedish chefing.
Here we go.
Greek and his Gregorian chanting army of metal monks pledge their shred to Kievan.
You did it.
Problem Child 2 on DVD.
Me.
Jeff, Big Baby, and his wife, not a big baby.
Odin's eye hole. That felt right. That felt appropriate.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes. It's hard. It's hard to do it with just one letter.
Elodie.
And honey.
Doraku, the thing that goes doink in the anime. Hold on. Doink.
The thing that goes bork in the end.
Doink.
Clint Deer King.
We stop it there? Stopping on that one?
Yeah, we gotta stop.
Agents Miskatonic.
You kind of had a lilt there. Spencer.
I thought about it.
Spencer Y.
Guys, let's be serious about the names for a second, okay?
Okay, all right.
These
Right.
people are keeping our show alive.
He's got a good point.
Needle Shaven.
Hey, Pelican. Capybaras are friends, not food.
3 a.m. Sleep.
Thank God. Is this why we usually do these first and not after?
I know.
God. We have no brain cells left for the strays.
Finish it, Kevin. Finish it. Yeah, there you go.
Finish it.
The strays.
Ben Folio's tire.
Wow, that one's hard, and we don't do.
This is a safe place to do Swedish Chef.
It is.
There's also a period after Sayer. You guys see that? Period.
Edgar Crassus, he broke the streak.
Whoa, good. I don't want to say Bob Cabbage in a funny voice.
Jafar's Ice Ball is excited to announce we're opening 2 new stores, Paranoia Shoppa and Wonder Skin Emporium. Come on down today.
Jolly old Jules.
Yeah, that's becoming Irish. We're both
Number one name.
The Shrek Ronamocon.
Angelo Edward Longton Santone.
Oh.
Melodies.
Tim Healy.
Spencer Leith Johnston.
Caleb and Michael watched Transformers 1, lowercase, and with 1 spelled out. And it was way better than Transformers 5. 5 as the number, but Transformers still uncapitalized. Why did you guys tell us to watch that one?
I mean, I don't think we said it was a good movie. Transformers 5.
We're not role models.
If we say it in a Swedish accent, it's true. If we didn't, it could go either way.
Yeah.
Go and watch the Transformers.
the last night. MC Fright.
Taylor Garofalo.
Nowhere Lucas.
Lumo Nuva.
Brian Udath.
Tall glass of dumb bitch juice has new eyeballs.
Congrats.
Hey, congrats. Nintendo 60 jorts.
Tick-ass biddies 007.
Complex.
Mimel the Spooky Delph converts Chad's football career-ending Corvette into a Dragula. I would love that.
Crazy.
Damn, I got emotional damage just remembering that.
Aww.
Remembering
Crazy-ass nipples.
Claregan wants corn nuts. Ranch, please.
Those are good.
Adam G.
Treehouse of Jorge 3, Season of the Witch. One of the best Halloweens.
Yeah. Yep.
Justin.
Jim Corey.
Jackie Bay.
Jaybird.
How'd that happen?
Carly Beth Parents 808. Carly Beth has been in Horrorland for almost a year. Should we be getting worried? Yes.
A Yeti in the hand is worth 2 Bigfoots in a bush.
I like that.
Toten Watson.
Wyvern.
Angus Keith.
Shelly Castillo Garcia.
Nat_Noah.
Big old dumb burb. Cherry Night Manor. Whoa, great job.
Oh, what?
UFO
Cherry?
50 reference.
Oh, okay.
Is Cherry mean you beat it?
And you 100%ed it, the game. Yeah.
I'm a fake fucking fan, I guess. Gun Bun.
Felix.
Cameron Murphy. No audio.
Daniel Lavelle.
Quinn.
Thanos Shack.
Nathan Galindo.
Mitch Show.
Patrick Nielsen.
Wolf CIA says love yourself. A promise and a threat.
Hey, weird formatting there on the book.
Ampersands are hard. It's fine. It's not their fault.
It's not the Wolf CIA's fault.
J. Fenn Crane.
Damon the Demon.
Eric.
Andrew.
Lee Murphy.
Steamed Ham.
John Keller.
Mike Simplename apologizes for formerly incomprehensible name.
Thank you, Mike Simplename. Mike C.
Ari.
Thank you for the pronunciation guide.
Yeah, thank you. Respect me, Daddy.
5 days since you laughed at me.
What is that a quote from? Is that 1 week from By Naked Ladies?
I think so.
By BNL? Yeah.
5 days since you laughed at me. Still got the rug burns on both my knees.
Such a good song. Ventus 13.
Devin Dallin.
Ben Little, the best man for his best friend.
Dusty Burger.
Morgy Porgy Puddin' Pie.
Autumn.
Wow, I really wish we had done Borgy Puddin' Pie.
Murky.
Puddin' Pie.
Haptic.
Noki Station.
And welcome to the Book of Names, these new namesters, like Family Truckster.
Welcome, Smithios.
Salutations. I hear wedding doinks. Congratulations, Chad.
Thank you.
Those wedding doinks, I hear.
Wedding doinks, not until we're married.
Welcome, Emily Donaldson.
Well met, Avery.
Hark, a snack rhino. May your days be long and your hardships few.
Zach Bryant, welcome.
And may your first son be a masculine son, surely not unique.
Oh, that's a very unique name.
Surely.
Thank you all so very much for supporting our show. We love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the show.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm Corden. Wait, no, I'm not.